Hello and welcome to the channel Other Tongues. In this video we will discuss the tone mark my egg. This is part of a series of videos to help you learn Thai. You will find the link to the playlist in the description. My egg is one of the 4 tone marks in Thai. Like all other tone marks, it is written at the top right corner of the initial consonant. Here we will write my egg above the middle class consonant or ang like this. The tone my egg gives a syllable depends on the class of the initial consonant. A syllable beginning with a low class consonant and having the tone mark my egg is in the falling tone. For example, nang meaning to sit, which has one syllable that begins with a low class consonant no nu and has the tone mark my egg. Nang is therefore in the falling tone. A syllable beginning with a middle class consonant and having the tone mark my egg is however in the low tone. For example, an meaning to read, which has one syllable that begins with a middle class consonant or ang and has the tone mark my egg. An is therefore in the low tone. A syllable beginning with a high class consonant and having the tone mark my egg is also in the low tone. For example, sing meaning thing, which has one syllable that begins with a high class consonant saw, sua, and has the tone mark my egg. Sing is therefore in the low tone. It is important to bear in mind that although the tone mark is written above the second consonant, when the syllable begins with 2 consonants that form a cluster, the tone nevertheless depends on the class of the first consonant. For example, in the word mi meaning noodles. Mi begins with a consonant cluster of the high class consonant ho heeb and the low class consonant moma. The tone mark my egg is written above the second consonant moma, but it is the first consonant ho heeb which determines the tone, even though ho heeb is silent in this case. As ho heeb is a high class consonant, the word mi is in the low tone. That is the tone mark my egg, which we can summarize as a tone mark that is written like this at the top right corner of the initial consonant in a syllable. A syllable having the tone mark my egg is in the low tone unless the syllable begins with a low class consonant, in which case it is in the falling tone. For example, an meaning to read is in the low tone because the single syllable in the word an begins with a middle class consonant or ang and has the tone mark my egg. Sing meaning thing is also in the low tone because the single syllable in the word sing begins with a high class consonant saw, sua, and has the tone mark my egg. Nang meaning to sit is in the falling tone because the single syllable in the word nang begins with a low class consonant no nu and has the tone mark my egg. In syllables that begin with 2 consonants that form a cluster and have the tone mark my egg, the tone depends on the class of the first consonant of the cluster, even though the tone mark is written above the second consonant of the cluster. For example, mi meaning noodles is in the low tone because mi has one syllable that begins with the high class consonant ho heeb and has the tone mark my egg. I hope this video was helpful. References to resources are in the description. You can write your questions and comments in the comment section below. Until next time, it's goodbye.